stay over to stay at some place for the night. We stayed over at a hotel and moved on in the morning. Plug in to connect an electrical device with an outlet. Does the TV work? Is it plugged in? Get away with something to escape punishment for wrongdoing. The police didn't find the thief. He got away with his crime. Make friends with, form a relationship with. It can be hard to make new friends. Stick up to rob, especially at gunpoint. They stuck up a small shop on Maple Street. Write down, make a note of, put down, take down. Please write down this number. Ward off, to prevent, to avert. This talisman can ward off bad luck. Lay out, to spread out. The town laid out before our eyes. Carry on, to continue doing something without stopping. Carry on with your work. Pull the wool over someone's eyes, deceive, mislead someone. Are you trying to pull the wool over my eyes? It won't do you any good. Cut out, to exclude, to remove. The doctor told her to cut out fat food. Get in touch with, communicate with, connect, contact. He gave me his business card so I can get in touch with him. Switch to something, to replace one thing with another. This is boring, let's switch to a more interesting subject. Take one's time, slowly, in a relaxed way. She took her time and made sure she did not make any mistakes on the test. Fall apart, to fall to pieces, to fail, to drift apart. My shoes are falling apart. Stop for, to stop and let someone pass before it. You should always stop for animals crossing the road. Go ahead, to go in front, to proceed with something, to begin. You go ahead, I'll join you later. Pick up, to improve. Business is picking up. Slip out of something, to get out of something. The letter slipped out of her hand and fell to the floor. Hear of, know about, hear about. I have never heard of an earthquake in this city. As far as someone is concerned, concerning, in reference to. As far as I'm concerned, both the book and the movie are good. Catch on, realize, understand. It took him a few minutes to catch on to the joke. Stand out, to be noticeable. The black letters stood out clearly on the light blue background. Report on something, to give information on something. He reported on the current situation. Think about someone, to have thoughts, to consider. I often think about him. Scratch the surface, study something superficially. He examines all the facts closely, he doesn't just scratch the surface. Come up, to appear. This information came up during the meeting. Right away, immediately, without delay, at once, right now. Stay there, I am coming right away. Hold back, to restrain, control, prevent, refrain from something. The barricades will hold back the crowds for some time. Arrive at, get to, come to, reach. The train arrived at the station. Stick it out, to stay to the end, to endure, to go on in spite of difficulties. It was a very hard time for him, but he managed to stick it out. Take something for granted, accept as given, assume as true. Mother's love is always taken for granted by children. replace someone by someone to change one thing for another. Coal was replaced by electricity. Lose track of someone, not to know where someone is. I lost track of him years ago. Stand by someone, to support, be loyal to someone. You promised to help, now stand by your word. Side by side, next to each other. The trees grew side by side along the river. Think of someone, to have thoughts, to consider, to have an opinion, to remember. I often think of him. Let go of, release. He slowly let go of her hand and she walked away. Wear off, to diminish or disappear gradually. The smell wore off soon. Vote on something, to express an opinion on something. We voted on the question of money spending yesterday. It's worth it, it's not worth it, it's worth buying, visiting, watching, etc. This film is not worth watching. Speak up, to express one's opinion openly. Many people are against it, but not many of them are ready to speak up. Keep from something, to prevent, to avoid. We must keep him from going there alone. In the middle of, at the center of, in the midst of. She turned off the TV in the middle of the show. Act up, to behave badly or in a strange manner. Her little son often acts up in public. Go Dutch, each pay for himself. They decided to go Dutch on their date.
لا تنسوا الاشتراك ومتابعة مزيد من المصطلحات والكلمات الهامة وكل ما يخص اللغة الإنجليزية على مواقعنا على شبكات التواصل الاجتماعي. الروابط تجدونها أسفل الفيديو. إذا كنتم غير مشتركين برجاء الاشتراك وتفعيل الجرس، وإذا استفدتم من الحلقة برجاء الضغط على إعجاب وترك لنا تعليق، وإذا أردتم نشر العلم برجاء مشاركة الفيديو مع الجميع لتشجيعنا. وبنهاية الحلقة نشكركم على حسن المتابعة ونرجو أن نلقاكم على خير في الحلقة القادمة بإذن الله. مع تحيات فريق عمل الدكة كلاود.